Hi, how you doing? My name is Lieutenant Corey Cool, and I'm a member of the Ocean Shores Fire Department, and I've been here for the last 10 years, loving every minute of it. And we're doing a new series right now, hoping to give the public a better insight to what we do and how we're structured, so that when you guys see us out in the public, you understand that we're your fire department and that we're here for you guys, and you guys aren't maybe so intimidated to talk to us or, you know, come in and say hi and take a look at what we do. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for us and the public to get to know one another and get information straight and make sure that the correct information is being put out into the public. I'm really excited about doing this. I've been PIO here at the department for the last year, and I do a lot of radio spots. I do a lot of our newspaper stuff. So this is just adding one more asset and one more faucet to what we do, and it's going to be fun and exciting, and I can't wait. We're going to start here today by doing a station tour, and we're hoping to get a chance to meet everybody individually that's on this shift, and then as the next couple days come along, we're going to hope to meet the rest of the guys as well. So we're going to start here by showing you how we're structured on the command board and how we're organized. Hi, so here we go. We're at the board, the command board, and this is a group of people that I hold dear to my heart. We're a small family here, as any fire department you'll find out if you talk to any other fire department people. And we'll just start at the top here, okay? Right now we have this is the chief's position, and at this point in time we have an interim chief until we get a new permanent chief put in, and that is Captain Brian Ritter. We have Courtney Beebe here. She's an assistant. She's an administrative assistant for us. She does all kinds of things that help the chief and to help the guys out with administrative work and duties. We also then have our firefighter Kurt Bagley here. He's the fire marshal. We have a chaplain, Larry Frickle. He's actually new to the department this year, but we love to have him. So he's been a good addition to us, and we look forward to working with him in the future. We then are separated. You guys will see we have a career chain here. The career chain, and then we have a volunteer chain. And the way that works is we have shifts. It's A shift, B shift, and C shift. Today happens to be a C shift, so this is the crew that's on, myself included. I'm the lieutenant on C shift. Tomorrow will be the A shift. They'll come on. And you'll see as of right now they don't have a lieutenant in there, and that's because Lieutenant Hoffman's actually that position, and Captain Ritter usually comes down into here. But we've moved somebody up in that office for the time being. But here's how it's structured. We have a shift on for 48 hours at a time, and then we go home while the other two shifts take duty to rest and rehab. So today we're actually on the second day of our 48-hour shift, and we will be going home tomorrow at 8 in the morning. And these guys will relieve us. If you look over here to the volunteer side, we have a same setup. It's a very similar setup. It's A shift, B shift, and C shift. And then we have Mr. Ken Osborne, who's the assistant chief of volunteers, and he is kind of oversees all the volunteer operations, training, and who's needs what, with keeping up with their their requirements and everything. But you'll see that every crew has its own shift makeup, and we utilize these folks as much as possible. The people in orange are in training and not fully qualified and able to do everything at this point in time. And you'll see we also have people that are on leave due to family issues or injuries and stuff like that. So this is our department. This is our crew. This is your fire department. I'm hoping that you get an opportunity to meet them all face to face at some point during the next couple of days and during our station tour. Okay, well, now that you know what our chain of command looks like and how we're structured, let's go ahead and take you on a little station tour so that you understand how we built this department and why we built it the way we did and how much we love working here, and you can see how nice it is. And let's go start in the lobby. Okay, so if you come through the front door of the lobby, you're going to come into this room. And at one point, this was all fire department lobby, because we had built this fire department to last us the next 30 years with the idea of growth in mind. But we don't have the people to fill the lobby right now. So there was just Courtney, our administrative assistant, in this big, huge lobby. And to be honest, she was lonely and cold. And the city found a better way to use the space for the time being. And so what you'll see here, if I just pan over, is that they put up this little wall, this partition wall. And you'll see the municipal court. But this is also where you'll come if you have any tickets you need to take care of here. In essence, the fire department has become City Hall. because as you'll see, the mayor's here as well as the city clerk. So this has become much more than just the fire department at this point in time. And what we'll do, if you pan over here to the left, you'll see that you have a little half door. And here's where you can push for any fire department personnel. I promise you, you're going to get some young guys or gals in blues coming right to the front once I push it. Let's just test it out and see if it works. We'll just give it a second and see if anybody comes up. I don't know. They better be here. Oh, here comes.
Hello.
Oh, just check to make sure it works. You guys can go back. It works. So if you guys need to get a hold of fire department personnel and it's not an emergency, you can come here. Burn permits, things like that. Applications to volunteer. Okay. If you do have an emergency, you'll walk around the side to where the EMS room is at, the medical room, and you'll push that button for any emergencies or blood pressure checks and things of that nature. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and walk through here. You guys will get a chance to meet Courtney Beebe, our administrative assistant. So if you guys just come this way. So if you were to come into the fire department and have any questions that you needed answered, or you wanted to fill out an application to be a volunteer or get a burn permit, you're going to come here, you're going to ring the bell. If Courtney is here, right through the door, as you see here, Courtney Beebe, she's been with us for 12 years. Courtney, where do you hail from?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama. And you love working with the guys?
Oh, love it.
Could you do anything else?
No.
No. Courtney is going to be the one that's going to answer your questions and hopefully point you in the right direction. So don't be afraid to come on in and say hi. She definitely likes flowers, coffees, things like that.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. So come on in anytime you want. And if Courtney's not there for some reason, you can always push the button. And you also have a bell here for the City Hall folks, the mayor or Rachel Carl, the city clerk. So thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time today, Courtney.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, now that you've got a chance to meet Courtney and see where the front door is, we're now what we call in the heart of the admin side. This is where our day workers are at, and we have the interim chief's office is here. We have a conference room in here where we do a lot of our interviewing and whatnot. And then right behind me, if you look, you've got the city clerk's office and then the mayor's office. So what we're going to do now at this point is I'm going to introduce you guys to interim chief Brian Ritter, who is normally plays on TV A-shift captain, but he is right now playing interim chief for us and doing a good job. So if you want to come right in here, I'll introduce Brian to you. So with great pleasure, I introduce Brian Ritter. He's a good friend of mine, a bit of mentor of mine since I've been here at the department. He stepped up, the first of the year-ish, right around there,
yeah,
and became the interim chief for us, and he's going to help find the next permanent chief.
Yeah.
So how long have you been here, Brett?
13, 14 years, somewhere in there.
Hey, where'd you come from?
Edmonds, Washington, right north of Seattle there.
That's by Seattle?
Yeah, about 25 miles
I've never
north.
heard of Edmonds, but
Yeah,
Seattle, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this is Brian's in the big office now. He's helping us overcome all of our issues that we have, meeting challenges on a daily basis. How you like being the interim chief so far?
It's a lot of work, man, but I'm enjoying it. I get to work with guys like you, so it makes it easy.
Awesome. Well, what I was hoping to show is, I know you were working on some things back here on the board. If we can pan this way over here, maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of the drawings that you've put up here on the board.
Well, this is in Ocean Shores. We're kind of on an island, so we have we have some issues with some staffing that we need to look at sometimes, and so we have a basic EMS call. When we go on an EMS call, generally we run 2 people per rig. So if it's like a serious CPR call, we're going to need more hands than that. And 30% of the time we're running 2 calls at the same time, which is called a double. So on a CPR call, we're going to need someone to be doing chest compressions, somebody to be putting a breathing tube into somebody and breathing for them, and somebody to be starting an IV to push those drugs to get the heart to beat again. And then you need a paramedic to be working that cardiac monitor to shock the heart into rhythm. And then you need a historian. You need someone there to comfort the family, get the medications, get the history. So there's a lot that goes into calls like this, or serious calls. And what we're finding is, we're doubling up so much, and our staffing levels have become so low that running a simple CPR call like this takes a lot of hands.
How many folks does this you have on scene that will be doing work? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 people?
Yeah.
Okay. How often do we have 5 people on shift,
Not very often.
Not
No,
very often.
we're trying to get a 4-man minimum right now. That's we have the SAFER grant the guys on the Safer Grant, and we're basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to educate the public in the fact that we need at least 4 guys on duty.
And how does it work for the fire side of things? This is EMS. For the
I haven't
fire
even
side,
touched on the fire.
just a quick synopsis of what we're looking at here.
Okay.
And you don't have to go into what everyone's doing. Just go ahead and if you can look at the stuff. He has everything from ventilation to truck operator to search and rescue. If you don't know what rapid intervention crew is, that is a team that rescues the people that are inside. If I'm inside fighting a fire and I go down and get trapped, somebody has to be set aside to come get me. So it's called the RIT team. And we have to have at least 2 people on there, but really, in all seriousness, we should probably have 3 or 4 times that on a RIT team. Over there, Brian, what do you have?
So basically, a lot of people assume that when the fire department goes on fires, we just go and we put the wet stuff on the red stuff. We just run in and put water on the fire. And that is not the case at all. It's a systematic. It's developed. There's a system that goes with putting out structure fires. And when you're dealing with less amount of people and less resources, you have to be very, very good and effective and fast and aggressive at your job. So basically, if we're starting out on a normal day, which generally is 4 to 5 people on shift, what are we going to do, Corey? We're going to jump in the engine, right? We're going to go to the fire. One guy's going to jump out and take the hydrant. The driver operator can't leave the engine. He's got to pump the water. Here's this guy, right? And then you have your other 3 to go in. So the guy that was taking the fire hydrant now is going to join these guys, and they're going to go in and try to attack the fire. But that's it. That's all we have. And we have District 7 that helps us out, but there's a huge delay in time, right? And fire grows 1.5 times its size every minute.
So, just a quick question for you there, Chief. You've got all these guys, all these firemen drawn around this house fire.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many that is for that house fire? I'm just curious. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
Mm-hmm.
About 12 guys?
This is for like a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot residential home. I'm not even talking about the big structures on the Shiloh or a commercial fire.
So, did you just come up with this number, or
No,
how'd you come up with that number right
no.
there?
There's a standard called NFPA 1710 that addresses NFPA 1710. Anyone can Google it and look it up, and it addresses proper staffing levels for fire departments and even proper staffing levels for medical calls.
So this number of firefighters came from NFPA 1710. This is an issue that they've already come to the conclusion that this is what you should be.
Here's the industry standard, and
Gotcha.
basically when we're out here on an island, we all know that how much money goes into staff, right? Any city budget, probably 80 to 90% of any city budget is what? It's staff.
Yeah.
You're paying for your
Staff,
benefits, you're paying
equipment,
for staff and equipment. But like Aberdeen and Hoquiam, they may get this amount of people on their fire because they always have service and availability
And mutual aid.
and mutual aid agreement, so they can count on each other. We don't really have another fire department that has that amount of people that we can call in when we catch a fire. Now, we only average about maybe 6 fires a year, but they do happen here.
Yeah.
80 to 90% of what we're doing is EMS, but we still
EMS.
find that what happens when we're short-staffed on EMS, even on a simple medical call, if we're lifting and bending and twisting and we don't have enough muscle, guys get hurt. I mean, right?
So these are the problems that intern Chief Ritter's dealing with on a daily basis, which is at a much higher level. This is a big systematic issues you got to try to meet. We appreciate you stepping up and
Yeah,
helping
man.
us with the
My
challenges.
pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
meeting the community here. So this is your interim chief, Brian Ritter.
Come by anytime.
So now after you got a chance to meet the chief, the interim chief, you're getting a chance next door is the mayor's office. And there's always a lot going on here. I always like peeking in. I get to see a lot of cool people. Today we have City Clerk Rachel Carl. Rachel, say hi to the people.
Hi.
How long you been at the city?
Almost 14 years.
14 years, right out of high school. Didn't you come right out of high school?
about.
She is homegrown, folks. And then we have new finance director. If you haven't had a chance to meet her, she's great. Angie Folkers. All right. And then you've got, everyone knows Mayor Dingler.
Hi guys.
And this is your second term with us now?
It is.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure I think she enjoys it. She always smiles at me when she comes to the hall. So that's all I've got. But we'll get back to work for now. But this is where the mayor resides, and we'll move on over here to the fire marshal's office.
Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, so if you continue on down our administrative side, we have down the hallway here, we have our aid room, which in our aid room, there's access outside so that people can come around and get their blood pressures checked, or if we have like a first aid type deal we need to deal with. And we even get sometimes people with more serious problems that come to our door, and that way we can take them right out to our ambulance bay and take them on the way to the hospital. If you continue down the hallway here, you have Fire Marshal's office. Right now we have Kurt Bagley doing that job, and he's newly promoted in the last year. He's been part of the fire department now for 25 years. He started as a volunteer, and he's been a career member here with us now for the last 18. So Kurt's a real asset to the department, and he's out doing inspections and fire marshal stuff right now, so we were unable to get the chance to meet him, but I'm sure you all have known him throughout the community. He's been in the community since he was this high. So we'll continue on. We got 2 more rooms to show you on the admin side, and that is what we call the arts and crafts room and the gym. So let's continue on that way. Okay, well now we're in the gym, which is essential to every fire department. If you go to any fire department throughout the United States right now, more than likely the chances are 95% of the time you're going to find a gym somewhere where the guys can stay in shape, keep their fitness levels at a point that need to be in order to accomplish the goals and missions that we come across on a daily basis. Our particular gym is a little bit smaller in nature, but it doesn't matter because we are very appreciative of what we have. At our last department, we were in a closet working out with just a treadmill. So the fact that we have this gym is a very good thing for us, and we're excited about it. As a matter of fact, all the equipment you see in our gym was furnished by the Firefighters Association or the Firefighters Union. A lot of the donations that people give sometimes will go into like equipment for the gym to help us stay fit and do different exercises to help us better do our job. So we have a couple guys in here working out right now. These are a couple of our newer guys. If you guys want to take a break for a sec.
Sure.
We have right here, this is Darian Reifenberg. Darian, how long have you been in the department?
I've been affiliated with the department for about 3 years, but paid for about a year now.
You've been career staff now for a year, and
Yep.
you're a firefighter. He's a firefighter paramedic. And Jack, how long have you been here?
I've been here same time as Darian. We got hired together and just completed a probationary year together.
Yeah. And
And,
are you a medic? You're an EMT?
I'm an EMT. I'm a firefighter EMT. I'm one
Okay.
of 3 firefighter EMTs in the department.
Yeah. What do you love working about here? What do you love about working out here at the beach?
Everything. I mean, we get to go out on the beach in our Humvees and help people, and it's a pretty great place to work.
Pretty great place. Darian, you got a favorite thing you like?
And the people just really give us a bunch of love out here. It's really awesome. We go help them out, and they're always just very thankful.
Community, yeah.
Community,
Well,
yeah.
this is our opportunity here to get a chance to meet the community, let them have more access into our lives, what we do here. These guys are on workout hour right now, so they're getting an opportunity to work out for an hour during the day. What we do isn't easy, and if you're not in shape, you're not going to be able to do it, and you're definitely not going to be able to do it for a very long time. So, appreciate you
Yep.
guys' time. I'll let you get back to working out.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to start moving out into the sleeping quarters and get a chance to meet some of the other guys that might be there. Okay, and now you're in the room that we call the Arts and Crafts room. We do a lot of our paperwork in here. We put together packets for training, informational packets. We get our mail in here. We have a lot of cool equipment. Countertops are a little bit higher so that when we do our projects, we don't have to bend over and stuff. This again was all done here. All this type of countertops was all done by prison workers at a fraction of the price. So the city was being very resourceful with that. They did a great job. Right now we got one of our members here doing something. What are you doing, Zach?
Hi, I'm just making some training packets for training tonight.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, if you don't mind, I'm doing a little show for the public to kind of get to know the fire department. So if you wouldn't mind letting them know how long you've been with us. And
Hi, my name's Zach Miller. I've been in the Ocean Shores about 3 years. Just recently moved away to Aberdeen. Been with the fire department for 3 years, since the whole time I've lived in Ocean Shores. My family owns a business around here, Lighthouse Family Clinic. And then I just like being an EMT firefighter.
yeah, and so you just moved to Aberdeen. Are you planning on sticking with the department?
Yeah, the cool thing about Ocean Shores Fire Department is a lot of the members, come in and they spend their extra time on their days off to come in and help protect the city.
Awesome, man. Zach's been doing a great job for us. He became an EMT a few years ago with us, and he helps out huge. When he comes, he stays the night with us, and he runs just like one of the career guys with us, and he goes first out. So appreciate it. Thanks, Zach.
You're welcome.
Go have some fun training, man. And so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take you into one of our bunk rooms that also dubs as an office for most of us, where we can kind of get our own privacy, our own spot, and do our work where we're not getting distracted by the guys, so to speak. We'll go over there next, and see you over there. Okay, well now we're getting out of the administrative side, and we're getting into the duty guys area. And here's where we have our own personal offices and our bunk rooms, which kind of dual as both. They kind of dub for us as both positions. And right here we have the captain's office and bunk room, and we happen to have the captain of C shift in there working on something right now. Captain Mike Tyree, how you doing, Captain?
What you got going here?
Well, we're doing a little TV show, trying to let the public have access into our day-to-day lives and let them know what we're doing a little bit more and how we work and operate.
Great.
And, yeah, so if you wouldn't mind telling a little bit about how long you've been here.
Well, I've been here since 1998. This January will be 20 years.
20 years?
20
It's
years
a long
in this
time,
place.
man. And
Yeah, I guess I've become the old salty dog.
yeah, he is becoming the older salty dog. But Cap, what were we just working on there in the office?
Oh, right now I'm working on the schedule, making sure we have the right personnel in place and make sure we have the right number of medics on shift and the right number of firefighters so we can handle the day-to-day operations here.
It's no small job. We don't want to keep you from your work, so I appreciate you giving us a few minutes here. And just real quick, for the camera, if you wouldn't mind letting the public know who your favorite lieutenant is.
Oh, of course, it's Corey Cool.
That's all we want to get out of there. Thanks, Cap. Let you get back to your
All
work. Alrighty.
See you later.
Okay, well, real quick, we were walking by one of these duty shower rooms, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity for you guys to see where we get to use the restroom and kind of clean up when we're living here for 2 days at a time. And as you can see, it's just a real basic bathroom. We have two of them like this. We have just a sink, mirror, a toilet behind me here. And we have a shower right here behind the wall. You just walk into the shower. We encourage guys to shower as often as possible. You know, I've got several guys living here at a time. It's a good thing. Okay, so now we find ourselves in one of our bunks / offices. This is like my little dorm room when I live here at the department for 48 hours. This is where we live, in one of these rooms. This particular room happens to not be mine, but it is the one that I'm sleeping in tonight because we have just the way that the duties turned out. But anyways, as you can see, we have a desk with a computer where we can get some work done, some administrative work. We have all kinds of notes and whatnot up on the board. Over here, this over here is the counseling chair. This can be a good chair or it can be a bad chair depending on why you're sitting in it. Sometimes the captains will pull you in, they have you sit down. If they have you sit down here on this chair, you're probably alright. If they ask you to stay standing or sit on one of the hard chairs, probably not. Anyways, you can see the beds that we sleep on. They're nothing more than a college cot, standard double bed. Again, this was all made by Department of Washington Corrections Facility. They did a great job. We've had these beds here now since 2009. They actually are set up to become bunk beds if we need to, if we ever get the personnel where we need to bunk up. And yeah, so they've been doing a good job for us. Different guys situate the rooms different ways, but we do have 4 of these. 4 bunk rooms per se, and we have 1 extra room for the volunteers or females that need their own sleeping quarters. So I'll hopefully get a chance to show you that one as well. So next we're going to go on over to the report room. Show you guys kind of where most of the reports get done by the line guys, the non-officers, and also where a lot of our 911 dispatches come into and whatnot. So if you want to just follow me over there, we'll see you in the report room. Okay, so now we're in the report room. This is what we call the watch desk or the report room. And what we have here is a very important area. This is where the majority of the guys will get projects done on the computers, because not everybody has computers in their bedroom or office. So the majority of the guys will get them done here. You can see we've got 2 different workstations. We've got over here, we've got a CAD system which is hooked to the 911 dispatch, and it gives us, you aren't going to probably be able to see it with your camera, but it's over here in the corner, and it's also right here. This also is another CAD system here that goes out to the bay for all of our printers. So when 911 dispatch drops, we have 2 printers that kick out sheets to tell us where we're going and what we're going for. Okay, so this room gets very busy, and when we're up late at night and we're on 2 or 3 calls at a time. The guys are in here with their head down, getting work done, making sure the right stuff gets in the computer. Right behind me, you'll see the room that I mentioned in one of my earlier posts, which is the overflow room, the overflow bunk room for volunteers if they want to have their own room. We got a little pocket door right here, just to give them some privacy. And they have a door on the other side so they can have their own room. And, by all means, they're allowed to bunk up with one of the guys if they want to, if we have an extra bedroom. But a lot of them choose to go in here and have their own space. So we try to accommodate all of our members.
My name is Jim Davis. I'm a longtime resident of Ocean Shores. This is my 10th year with Ocean Shores Fire. I've done a lot of things in this community for the community. Right now I am a volunteer here with Ocean Shores, and I work full-time up at Grace Harbor Community Hospital now. So, I don't know. I can go on and on and on and talk and talk and talk, but...
Has it been getting tougher for you to stay on as a volunteer and meet all the criteria as the
No.
laws change and stuff?
No, not at all. You know, we've got a good group of people here. We've got a good group of volunteers. And
You got one next to you right there. That's the president of the association, or not the president, sorry, you're the president.
he's the president.
Yeah, but you're the assistant chief of volunteers,
I didn't know
right?
if you could see. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Ken Osborne.
Assistant Chief Osborne, who
Ken Osborne, like Jim, longtime resident in the community, been a volunteer here for 17 years now. And it's been a very rewarding 17 years. It's been like family here, getting to know all the guys. That's the biggest thing you find in the fire service is the feeling of family. These are literally your brothers and sisters. And we are a family organization. They're not here tonight, but very often you'll find family members, wives, children here. It's definitely a family-oriented endeavor here. So,
And one of the things we've been asking everybody is just to make sure that everyone's clear. Your favorite lieutenant in the department?
I'll have to think about that one.
Oh, you're the first one that hasn't answered, Lieutenant Cool.
Well, you can exit the room, then I'll answer.
I have no favorites. I love them all up here. It's a great
That's
bunch
great.
of guys. You know, they really are.
My name is Joe Hoffman, and I'm a lieutenant with the fire department here for the last 11? I've been here 11 years, and it's a great place.
And your favorite lieutenant?
My favorite lieutenant is myself.
Come on! You can't do that!
I knew that was coming.
Your favorite lieutenant has to be between me and Bearden.
Well, you've never been my lieutenant.
Alright. Trying to get my name out there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm older than him.
Meanwhile, you guys also might want to take a look. This is our beautiful kitchen that houses, as you can see, 4 to 8 guys at a time cooking and eating, and so we're very lucky to have this beautiful kitchen.
And then those special occasions when we've got 50 people here with our family and everybody else.
Yeah, we have the whole buffet will be set up on the counter here. We'll have people go through it like a chain. You guys want to? Oh, this is your public you're talking to. This is one of our new EMTs.
My name's Alex Reese. Been here for now a year and 1 month, 2 months.
Tell them your Disney name.
My Disney name is Ratchet.
Ratchet. It's a cute little nickname they gave him.
Got that from a bunch of my other friends up in the Seattle area because I work on cars a lot, help people fix things. So, no, love this department. Guys here are great. They're welcoming. It's been fun. It's a fun department to be a part of. Fun community.
My name's Tyler Fitzpatrick. I'm the new Proby. I was just hired on Safer Grant. My hire date was February 14th, so I am quite new. I fell in love with and found out about this department through training to become a paramedic. Ocean Shores Fire is, relatively speaking, a small department with a high call volume, and they're very active not only in their community but the community of EMS and emergency services. So they have a pretty big footprint, and so I got the opportunity to learn about these guys and learn about what they were all about. So I wanted in. I wanted to be a part of it. I was working as a paramedic out in Tacoma, and I applied and I applied and I applied again. And eventually, I got picked up as the pro. So my job is to do the best I can and learn how to become a firefighter, which is a long, sometimes painful process. These guys are walking me through it and making sure I do right.
So we've got a great training room here at the fire department. It's utilized by all kinds of agencies, not just the fire department, but also the police department, the dispatch center. So it's awesome. We have. Hold on, Ken.
I'm going to sit back with my cup of coffee.
Anyways, the guys are in the middle of a training right now. So we're just about to start some ongoing training for EMS. Let's go ahead and turn and take a look at them now and just watch a couple minutes of that before we move on in the tour.
So, this is OTEP for Ocean Shores Fire. Today we're going to be talking about Narcan, naloxone, specifically for the EMT. Medications in the EMT scope aren't as many as, say, for a paramedic. We actually had a list up before I erased the board for a paramedic that we carry, and it was this big and that tall and that written in that kind of font. So, for an EMT, Narcan got added to the scope because it's extremely safe. Most of our medications are actually fairly safe. And Narcan, for what it's used for, relatively speaking to the symptoms that it treats, is incredibly safe, right? Because we use it to treat altered level of consciousness, not breathing, things like that, where if you don't intervene, the person will die. Narcan, by comparison, does nothing. It's almost zero harm. And we'll talk about the side effects here in a minute.
All right, well now you're in what we call the day room, although it is kind of funny that we call it the day room because we're only really here at night. After 5, 6 o'clock at night, we are allowed to just be standing by for the next call. We don't necessarily have to be out being productive in the bay or working on projects. That's generally in the fire service when you have your downtime. And every department will have a room such as this. And they're all a little different. This is ours. This is per se our living room like you would have at your home that you're probably watching me in right now. This is our living room. You can see these big chairs. They're called the Extinguisher. They're built by Bulldog. I'm not trying to pump the company. I'm just stating they're made for fire department furniture because of the fact that we're all fairly big guys for the most part. And we sit down in them and it looks kind of like this. When we come in here, we sit down and we kick back. That's it. That's what we do. And you can see I'm a pretty big guy, so this thing has been here since 2009 and none of them have broken. Knock on wood. They've all handled it really well. So if it's 9, 10 o'clock at night and I'm watching the news, or whatever it is, you know, or whatever this is, but if we get a call, then we just kind of kick out and go. So they're the Extinguisher. They kind of you just go. All these chairs here were all purchased by funds by the association or the union. The city did not purchase any of these, just to let everybody know. This is all stuff that we did come into with money that we either got through fundraising or donations or union fees. So it's just something that we wanted to do as a group to kind of make it our own. The city did give us some nice furniture that is over here, some nice couches in the back, and those were built by the Washington Department of Corrections, which they did all of our furniture here in the department. So awesome. We'll move on out to the bay now. So this is our bay, and this is where what we call the apparatus bay. It's where we have all of our response vehicles. And you can see how we kind of have it set up. And you might, if you could smell right now, you might be able to smell fire. And that's because we've had a very busy day. Just today before I was woken up by tones that went off for a fire at a local hotel here. And first thing in the morning, I'm out throwing my pants on out here into my locker right here, throwing my bunker pants on, getting everything on. Everyone else is doing the same. We're all wiping the sleep out of our eyes. And we've got smoke in a room and fire. And so there was definitely interior operations being done at the time. We were able to make a great save. I think they're going to be able to save the room for the most part, excuse me. But we had to save. It was very labor intensive. A lot of hose was pulled. You have to be ready for the worst. You have to be ready for the, worst case scenario and the what ifs. And we were. And we did our best, and nobody was hurt, and we saved a lot of damage to the hotel. So, anyways, it took us a good hour and a half to get back in service. And if you could smell, you would smell the smell of fire in the bay today. And a lot of times the guys know exactly what that means, and that means that we had a worker. But anyways, I'll continue on with explaining the bay to you. But you can see this is the section that we're standing in here is our ambulance bay. We have 4 ambulances. They're set up to go out by a first, second, third, and fourth situation. You're looking at the 4th out bay, 3rd out bay. Over here's the 2nd out, and then that is our 1st out ambulances. We do rotate the ambulances to try to level out and equal out the miles that are put on each ambulance. So, we're constantly trying to save equipment and keep it in good shape. So by balancing out the miles, it helps out a lot. If you look past, you'll see our first fire engine. That's our 1st out fire engine right there. Okay? And then just beyond it, you have the 2nd engine, and you have the ladder truck, the beautiful ladder truck that we got in 2007. It's a Sutphin 95-footer. And we also have other parts of the bay here you can't quite see with the camera, but maybe we'll get some shots on the way over to the other side. That's what we call the other side over there. We got a rescue boat here, the cops that we can, and the patrol boat. It's actually a patrol boat, but and we have also some of our wildland rigs that we use for grass fires and stuff in the summer. We'll get a good look at some of those on the way over. And follow me, we'll take a look. Okay, so I just want to get an opportunity to show you guys, okay, first of all, let's talk about the lockers, okay? We got these lockers when we moved over here, and the cool thing about these lockers is that they're on wheels, and they're in packs of 3. And when we came here, I was in charge of kind of getting the locker setup going, and I found some lockers on this place called GearGrid.com, and they were very expensive. They were $1,600 for the same setup. We faxed over the dimensions and the make of these to the Washington Department of Corrections, and they made them for us for half price. Funny story, though, real quick. This is a funny story. When they came here, they were about this tall because they do a lot of schoolwork. So they were a little shorter than they needed to be. We had to send them back, and you could see right here that they actually had to come down and extend them up another couple feet so that they were this level here. But this is kind of what our locker looks like. I have my gear bag, so when I travel to go to outside training, or even if we're traveling around town, I can put all my gear, all of my PPE in this bag and travel around town just over my shoulder with a sling here. So it just kind of goes like so. But in here, I've got my mask. You'll see I've got my helmet. This is my coat with my radio, and I'm ready to go. And everyone has their stuff ready to go, so I can just jump in my boots, throw my coat on, and be in the fire engine. And we try to get out of here within 2 minutes of our call. So we'll keep going to the other side here. Okay, well, I promised you an opportunity to see some of our wildland rigs. If you haven't already seen them out on the beaches, this is one of them. This is our H1 Hummer that we got surplus from the government. It was awesome. And it gets us to where we need to be in the dunes in order to save properties and get our people and equipment to the fire. So just thought I'd show you guys that. We do have this one, and we also have a 6x vehicle over here in the corner that we use. We call it the Incredible Hulk. This one's just the Hummer, that one's the Hulk, because it's green and it's big and it's a monster. Real quick while we're here, thought I might explain to you what this is right here. What this is right here is an exhaust evac system. And it's lawful that every fire department have something that evacuates the exhaust out of the bays, because it's been known to be linked to brain cancer in firefighters with all the diesel smoke in the bays and whatnot. So the way this works is it's a pneumatic system, clamps onto your tailpipe, and when you kick on the rig, the pressure and the heat kicks on a big fan, and it sucks all the fumes out of the roof. So it keeps it clear in here and hopefully prevents cancer in some of our guys. Love them, have to have them. It takes maintenance though. They tend to break from time to time, but other than that, we work on it and it helps us stay healthy. And this is where a lot of, productive things happen for us. We keep the rigs up and running. We make sure our gear is ready to go. And we actually have one of our C-Shift members right now working on some of our equipment, Jeremy Towery. If you guys want to pan over here and meet one of our most valued members, Mr. Jeremy Towery. Say hello to the Ocean Shores public.
Howdy.
So Jeremy's been with us for what, 14 years total?
Over 14 years.
14 years, and how long as a career guide?
10 years.
10 years as a career guide. And we're real happy to have Jeremy. What are you working on there, Jeremy?
Just maintenance.
Maintenance?
On the extrication gear.
Extrication gear. It's just a small piece of really important life-saving equipment. We have it all over the place here. Anyways, Jeremy, appreciate you letting us look in on some of the things that you do and getting a chance to see you and meet your smiling face. You guys might want this little thing right here. Jeremy's he's just constantly busy. He's got earphones in and stuff. I mean, he just cannot, he's got a family. How big's your family anyways? Big family.
Big family. 3 kids.
3 kids.
3 kids.
Anyways, we'll leave Jeremy at his work. Some of the guys, oh, now we gotta retake that. Just joking. Well, thanks, Jeremy, for meeting the public and letting us take a look at what you do, and we'll continue moving on here. Okay, well, where we're at now, this is called, if you look right here, it's the compressor room. This is where we fill our bottles. You'll see we have, air packs and air bottles and whatnot. We can put those in our machine here. This is our very nice new machine that we got, actually. Our other one was a little older, need to be replaced. This one's really neat. You're able to fill 2 bottles while you're exchanging 2 other ones. Super nice. Revolve Air by Scott Safety. This is just where we deal with all of our SCBA safety and maintenance.
Can you tell us what kind of air you put in there?
Sure, yeah. No, definitely. So the way this works is a lot of people think that we're carrying oxygen on our back, but we're not carrying oxygen on our back. That would be bad because oxygen is highly flammable and explosive. So what we carry is just compressed air. The atmospheric air that we have right here, we have an air compressor back there that just compresses the air and puts it in here at 4,500 pounds per square inch. So we carry in these things, the bottles that we're using on our calls right now are carrying about, they're called 45-minute bottles. But I'm here to tell you that none of our guys are getting 45 minutes out of those bottles, and there's not many that are. I don't know why they call them 45-minute bottles, because we're only getting about 25 to 30 minutes out of a bottle at most. So when you're working on a fire and you're in all that garb and all your PPE, you tend to breathe heavy and suck down a lot of air. So we go through it quicker. But that's the way it works. And if you can look, actually, we've cut a couple of these up in half so you can kind of see what the inside looks like. Okay, it's carbon fiber wrapped aluminum. Okay, and this is just a smaller 30-minute tank that I use this. This is what a full bottle one looks like. You can see it's got the threads here for the neck. We use this to show new guys kind of what they're carrying on their back. And this is all that's inside. It just carries air, compressed air. So this is just one of our older bottles that were out of service. Awesome. Okay, so now we're in what we call the laundry/decon room. And this is an important room because, as we said before, we live here for 2 days at a time, and actually sometimes even longer. Today is actually my 3rd day on duty because somebody called in sick. So I'm here for my 3rd day. A guy's got to do laundry. So we have these laundry facilities right here. These are our normal uniform laundry setup right here. It's just a Whirlpool Duet setup, front loaders. Nothing special. This is your household model right here, okay? But we do have stuff that requires much deeper cleaning and much more sophisticated. And so for that, like for instance, for our PPE or our personal protective equipment, the gear that I showed you in my locker, that's what we call PPE. We have to put those in what's called an extractor. And what it does is it goes at like 1,200 or 1,500 RPMs per minute when it actually, after it washes it and spins it, and it extracts all the carcinogens and all the hazardous materials off of our gear, so that we don't continue to wear them and soak into our skin. It's pretty neat. It looks like something off of a submarine. Great piece of equipment. Something that we didn't have at our old station. We just didn't have the room for it. And when we came to this station, we made sure that we got the right stuff. This big white box that you're seeing here is a big industrial dryer. This is where we put our big personal protective gear on hangers, and it goes inside this dryer that can go up to 150 degrees for up to 2 hours. So it dries our gear quicker so that we're not sitting around. In the old days, they used to have to sit around and let them hang and air dry. So this is a great industry standard now. You might see the cedar wooden box over here, and what this is what's called a detox unit for firefighters. See, you might see a lot of expensive equipment over here that we use to detox our gear. But the problem they were finding is that firefighters weren't being detoxed. And we absorb a lot of chemicals and carcinogens as our gear does. So they found, and the way they found out was through 9/11. All the first responders that had were having cancer and issues and getting ill through 9/11 response. They found that putting them in one of these infrared saunas was actually clearing their body of the toxins and carcinogens that were causing cancer and all kinds of lung problems. And so now this is actually becoming an industry standard as well. We were lucky enough to, our last chief, I presented this to him, and I showed him all the research and what was going on throughout the industry, and he said, look, we can't come up with the cash right now to do it, but if you guys can find a way to get it done, us being the association and the union, again, I will allow you to do it if you can find a spot. So we thought, what better place to put it than in the decon room? So our guys, for instance, I didn't have a chance to do it today. I've been too busy with calls, but I did have a fire earlier today. So post-fire, we like to try to see guys get in here within 24 hours of being inside on a fire to try to cleanse our body of any of the toxins that we may have absorbed and hopefully prevent cancer so that we can live long lives after our career is done. So now we'll go ahead and take you guys on over to the tool room where all the fixing and stuff goes on, and hopefully it'll be just as interesting as the decon room. Okay, well now we're in what we call the tool room. This is a room where we keep some extra equipment, but a lot of times we're just kind of getting stuff done as far as working on some of our hand tools, some of our small equipment like chainsaws or whatnot. We actually have a guy right now over here, Doug Lewis. Hey Doug. Hey man.
Hi LT.
How you doing?
Good.
All right.
See you.
Hey, we're doing a little show for the public right now, just kind of give them an opportunity to get to meet everybody. So if you don't mind telling who you are and how long you've been here.
Well, I'm Doug Lewis, and I'm a volunteer firefighter here at Ocean Shores, and I've been here for 1 year, and I've been working on my educational aspects of the department and obtaining my fire credentials and my EMT credentials, and yeah, it's been great.
Doug's been a super go-getter for us. He's hit this thing running, and he has been one of our very good aggressive volunteers that came in and grabbed the bull by the horn, so to speak. So we appreciate that, and we'll let you get back to what you're working on, but keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you very much.
All right. Awesome. Well, so this is the tool room again. If you might look over here real quick, you see these tubes going in and out over here, and you might wonder what that is. This is in-floor heating for the bay. The whole bay area where we keep all of the equipment, the apparatus, is heated with hot water. So that's the way that works. We have two systems. We have one here, and we have the other half that's in our wood shop, what we call the wood shop. So we'll go ahead and move on over there, and maybe we'll meet somebody else. All right, so I just wanted to, we were walking over to our last room that we had to show you, and we had one of our new volunteers here, Lucas Barr, showing up for drill tonight. Lucas, we're doing a little show for the public to get an opportunity to meet all the guys here at the department. So why don't you just say hi to them, tell them a little about what you do and how long you've been here.
Okay. My name is Lucas Barr. I've been here since August, so a handful of months. Went through the great EMT program that they have, and working on getting my national certification for that, and proceeding on with my training.
Where was the classes held for?
The classes were at the Grace Harbor Emergency Building in Aberdeen.
Yeah, and what do you do for work?
I work full-time at a store called Bimar. It's a hardware store, and I'm also a para-educator for the Hokum Tool District.
Cool.
So,
yeah.
busy
So
schedule.
So yeah, Lucas does this on his free time, which I'm sure he doesn't have a bunch of, but he does it with us, and we encourage him in all of his training and endeavors, and thank you, Lucas.
Yeah.
You better get to training, man.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go on to our last room here now. So here we are now in the final room of the tour, and this is what we call the wood shop. The reason we call it that is because when we came over here, we didn't have any cabinets out here, any shelving or anything like that. And if you remember, we came here in 2009, which was right when the economy said, so there was no money for that stuff. So we, as the firefighters, did it ourselves with lumber and whatnot, and we built all these shelves. We actually went over and got the old cabinets out of the old fire department, and they happened to match the wall perfectly, so we put them right up, and we used them. We're just trying to be resourceful. You'll see, you know, we have our nice table saw here, which has helped build a lot of these shelving units. We also keep a lot of the flags here for the city, so a lot of the parades you see, or the Flag Day Parade, or things like that, they're all kept here. And we have some, you know, just, this is pretty much a storage unit that's also dubbed as a wood shop that we can build shelves or props for training and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much what this is right now. Nothing real special about it, but it is the last room on the tour. I'll give you guys one more shot of the ladder and maybe our 6x, because that's the last thing you guys haven't seen is what we call the Hulk. And we'll call it a day. All right. Okay, so this is the last part that you haven't had an opportunity to see, and we call this the Hulk over here. We call it the Hulk because it is undefeated in the dunes. You can see how big this thing is. Again, this is another one of those surplus Army purchases that were super smart and very effective for us. We're actually in the process of putting a much larger tank on here. This is a 300-gallon tank, and we're putting a 1,000-gallon tank on here in another month or so that we'll have much more water out in the dunes and to better help protect property. Right now, it's just getting a lot of work. It's the off-season, the winter. We don't get a lot of grass fires in the winter, so we're just doing some maintenance on it and getting ready to put the new tank on. Over here, you guys get a little bit better shot of the beautiful Sutphin. The ladder truck, we got a guy over here. Devin, what are you up to?
Just checking out the engineer's compartment to make sure everything's there. Flares, extinguisher.
Nevin's, what shift are you on, Nevin?
A shift, volunteer.
Come on and meet the public. We're doing a little monthly segment where they get to meet the fire department, get to find out a little bit more about us. So, how long have you been with us?
I came on in the summer of 2015.
Oh God, going on 2 years this summer, huh?
Yeah.
And what training have you done since you've been here?
It's been ongoing. I think we started in the summer and pretty much took what's called a CPAT course, where we are 10 minutes. We have to do a bunch of physical exercise, make sure we meet national standards. In the fall of that year, we did in-house firefighter training, which was ropes and knots and ladders and putting on gear and all that kind of stuff. And January 1 of last year, we took EMT training. That went till May.
Yeah.
So now we're done EMT training. That got certified in the summer, and the fall was driver training for the rigs. And
you, so pretty much, you started 2 years ago, and you've just been tap, 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 just ongoing.
Basically.
And that's a lot on you, huh? Because you also have your own business.
I work full time, yeah. This is just a spare time thing.
Nevin has his own business. He's a contractor all throughout the Northwest and whatnot. And so he does this on his spare time, and you see how much time we're asking of him. And it's not necessarily that we're asking it of him. It's more of the state standards and laws that we have to abide by. So we really appreciate the time you've given us, Nevin.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, man.
It's totally fun.
Appreciate it. We can get back to checking your compartment here.
Thanks for today.
All right, man. Okay, well, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and going with us on our station tour and getting to meet the crew. We did meet the majority of the guys. We missed B shift, but we'll get them on the next segment. Anyways, I hope you guys got the opportunity to see how much we appreciate the station and how much we love working here and living here for 1/3 of our life. It's awesome. It's an awesome experience, and we're going to hit a lot more subjects in the coming months. So stay tuned. Hope to see you next time. This is Corey Cool, Ocean Shores Fire. Clear.